What's a cool fact about the human body that a lot of people don't know? If you drink nothing but purple Powerade for 3 days straight, your poop will turn neon green. The bone that supports your eyeball, called the orbital floor, is paper thin and has a large empty cavity, called the maxillary sinus, on the opposite side. When you get it hard in the eyeball, instead of your eyeball itself rupturing, the bone underneath your eye breaks, which is called an orbital floor fracture. This releases the pressure from the impact and saves your eyeball. If you crush a beach ball against a concrete wall, you can pop it, but if you try crush it against a styrofoam wall, the wall breaks but the beach ball is fine. An amazing evolutionary adaptation to protect your eyesight. Really late, but I discovered this thing during my thesis. We were researching patients with neurological problems and people who had brain injuries, and we found a woman in her 30s that had part of her brain removed. More specifically, the area that activates when you move your body. Well, she was moving and talking with just some minor missteps, and theoretically it was not possible. She was paralyzed in the first 3 months after the operation. She was caught in a car accident, if I remember correctly. We were trying out a new scanner for the brain, and we found out that an area of the brain that wasn't supposed to work and control the movement was doing just that. Occipital area, usually controls the vision, was now working as a motor control area. The brain is really amazing. You have enough potassium in your body to create a very small bomb. So I bought all this C4 for nothing? Some people are born with extra ribs called cervical ribs, which grow from the C7 vertebrae in the neck. It's a weird and rare mutation that a lot of people don't even know they have, although it is also a cause of thoracic outlet syndrome, which is where pressure is applied to the nerves, veins and arteries running into the arms. It can be really painful, and in some rare cases can cause gangrene in the arms. If left untreated, it can kill you if you're really unlucky. Source: I have the non-cervical rib-induced variety. My sister has that. She had to have both of her extra ribs removed. The circulation in her arms would get cut off if she raised them to shoulder height or above. She would just stop having a pulse in her arm. The doctor asked if he could do a write-up about her case for a medical journal. Some people will cough if they put something in one ear. A very small percentage will cough if something is in either ear. It is called Arnold's ear cough reflex. I always cough when I Q-tip out my ears. I thought that happened for everyone. When I swab it out, I can feel the tickle way deep in my throat. You know the smell of rain, or disturbed soil? It's a compound produced by bacteria called geosmin, and the human nose is extremely sensitive to it. We can smell it at as low a concentration as 5 parts per trillion. Edit: sorry for my confusing wording. The compound is called geosmin, not the bacteria. We can smell rain better than sharks can smell blood. I actually just learned about this. There is a podcast from Stuff You Should Know that goes over all this info. The smell of rain. Your liver can regenerate, and much faster than you think. I had a quarter of my liver removed, and a month later it was back. Edit: fixed typo, think not like. Edit: thanks for the silver, Redditors. My first smiley face. That's about exactly as fast as I want my liver to regenerate. A woman was found without a cerebellum, the part of the brain that controls motor abilities of the body. She is alive, and has no real side effects from this condition that we know of. Edit: okay, to clarify, her cerebellum was not removed, nor did I do it. She was born without one, and the medical professionals, again, not me, found out after she complained about a headache, which led to an MRI. The dive reflex. When your face is submerged in chilled water and you hold your breath, it causes your heart rate to lower and blood supply to be increased to vital organs such as the heart and brain. This is useful to help increase the amount of time you can hold your breath, but is also useful in helping to manage PSVT, paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia, which is characterized by occasional bouts of high heart rate. There's a small fishing village/tribe in Asia where the fishermen have evolved to be able to hold their breath for around 10 minutes while hunting underwater. There is a muscle, called palmaris longus, in the forearm, missing in about 10% of the population. You can easily test if you have it by putting your pinky and thumb together, while holding your palm facing up, and flex the hand upwards. If one tendon is standing out more than the others, that's palmaris longus. And some people, like me, only have one. If you tear something in your arm, cannot for the life of me remember what it is, and you have the palmaris longus drive, can, and often do, use that as the new tendon/ligament. Here is an example, https://www.worldscientific.com/doi/abs/10 1142/S242483551672019X. Archaeologist here. You can give birth after you've died. Occasionally we will come across a really confronting burial where the skeleton of an unborn child is halfway through its mother's pelvis. Generally what happens is the woman has died before giving birth, and after burial a buildup of gases from decomposition forces the baby out. We refer to this as coffin birth. www.sciencenet.com/archaeologists find evidence of a ghastly coffin birth in a medieval grave/amp/thanks I ate it. On the other hand, I think coffin birth sounds like the name of my next metal band, Rock on Gesture. Edit, I'm being told r/t he is more better and silver. You shouldn't have. Thank you, smile. You mostly breathe out of one nostril at a time, and the dominant nostril switches every hour or so. Scientific name for your thumb is pollux and your big toe is hallux. Not just yours, everybody's. Not mine, mine is named Mr. Thumbness. When we're in an unfamiliar environment we sleep with half our brain at a time, kinda like sharks, and that's why we wake up easier. Edit, thank you for my first silver kind person. By unfamiliar do you mean a hotel, or do you mean somewhere sketchy like say you had to sleep in a field? The war that's constantly happening inside of you. Everyone knows about your immune system, but the sheer complexity of it is amazing. Like, your body has neutrophils, which are like the generic white blood cell that constantly goes around your blood vessels seeking out foreign objects. But did you know there are cells called macrophages which are like way better neutrophils in the fact that neutrophils mostly swallow bacteria to kill them? Macrophages do this too, except they can swallow close to 100. You have stuff like dendritic cells whose main goal is to be an early warning system. They swallow an invader, then carry a piece of it back to T cells to activate them. Once they're activated, T cells swarm that specific invader and kill anything that has that antigen. I didn't even name close to all of the cells that are doing constant battle inside of you 24/7 365 days a year. So next time you have the flu or an infection, think of the little guys inside you who gladly fight the good fight. Yep, cells at work taught me a lot of things. Immune privilege. Your immune system doesn't know your eyes exist. There's a chance that if you get an eye injury or an infection near your eyes, the immune system will think your eyes are a foreign body and you will go blind. Babies are born without kneecaps. They develop around 2 years. Edit, they have a cartilage-like thing that protects the knees. I've been told so many times that there's still something. Thanks. Gonna go punch a baby in the knee now. Your hands and feet alone account for more than half of all the bones in your body, 106/206. Gotta point out you're including the wrists and ankles in that count. Apparently some peoples in Asia have a bunch of DNA from Denisovians, another hominid people coexisted and interbred with. Cutting the corpus callosum connects two brain hemispheres, can produce some freaky results. Such as your hand doing shit that your conscious mind is aware of, writing a sentence or scratching an itch without knowing, for instance. I saw a program back in the dark ages when I was a kid. It was all about the brain. One of the things they talked about was that procedure. They had a guy they were testing. One hand did better with creative things, the other did better with logic. At one point they were trying to get him to do something with the hand that didn't have an easier time with it. I think it was something like stacking blocks. He wasn't supposed to use the hand that could do it better, but as if the hand had a mind of its own, it kept interjection itself and at one point literally grabbed the hand having a problem and moved it out of the way in obvious frustration. Edit, the user Killerbake found the bit of the program I saw and posted a link. Vitality. You'd be surprised how much blood you can lose and fully recover reasonably quickly. If it drops below a certain threshold, even if replaced fast, you will appear to recover for a few hours then die of multiple organ failure. Edit, got this in an anatomy book that I was actually reading as distraction while recovering from surgery myself. It just said that if it went low enough, the refill wouldn't solve it. Person would appear to recover well, then have systemic failure and die. Would like confirmation of it, actually. I remember it impressed me at the time. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. Only 7? Casuals, my body can make at least 15. Your heart rate increases about a minute before partaking in exercise. It is known as the anticipatory rise and happens involuntarily. Edit, my very first gold, thank you. We are, by cell numbers, more bacteria than a human. Germaphobes are crying. Eyes color isn't strictly based on recessive/dominant. That's a major incorrect oversimplification. Eli 5? Most of our body never gets more than 20 years old. Our cells divide, in a process called mitosis, and then die. The exception of your nervous system, the oldest organ in your body is the lungs. In terms of age of your cells, your skin never gets more than a few weeks old, your mouth never gets more than a few days old. Essentially, the reason we age is not because the cells are old, but they lose their ability to perform functions as effectively as they go through the, mostly genetically determined, aging process. Your cells are only designed to divide a set number of times, due to structures called telomeres. It's a little more complicated than this, but I'm not writing a textbook, nor am I qualified to do so. Pacemaker cells in the heart never die, 'cause if they do then so do you. Your body can, in a way, evolve during your life to fit your needs. Say you are a New York City cab driver with a normal brain. You start when you are young and are very dependent on a map or directions from the passengers. As you continue to do this for years, your brain adapts to handle its new job. Areas of your brain in charge of spatial awareness and memory of roads starts to grow, building a map in your brain. MRIs have shown a significant increase. It's not just your brain though. There is a village somewhere in the Mediterranean, I believe, where they adapt to living in water. Their homes are built on stilts in the water and they are strictly pescatarian by necessity. Their eyes developed thicker outer layers for seeing underwater for long durations as well as a huge lung capacity. Humans are amazing. It wrote this from mobile after just waking up. Details were fuzzy. Adaptation may be a better way to describe what's happening. The tribes is Southeast Asia, not Mediterranean. The Maguire cab study showed the brain neuroplasticity. It is London cabbies, not NY. Thank you for those who helped fact check me down low. And yes, all nature is amazing, not just humans. Some people, like me, sneeze whenever they think about sexual fantasies/acts. Basically, you can have a sexually induced sneeze. Hey, I have this. I was always worried that when I just snoozed when a pretty girl walked into the room or something similar, people would notice, but it would seem other people don't have it. My friend, on the other hand, sneezes when he is drunk. The record was 34 in a row. We have an internal regulator that prevents us from using our full strength. Our muscles usually only work at about 60% max of what we are capable of. In extreme life and death situations, these regulators stop and we are able to use our full strength. This is how the parts where people tipped over cars and similar come from. These regulators are because at full strength we heavily damage our bodies. Essentially, you could lift something to the point where it is either lifted or your arm just breaks instead. I believe there has also been someone who ran so hard his leg broke. TFW, the 8 gates are real.